Get up! Come on, hurry! The warden is calling! Are you really going to save Nostria, as they say?
Huh. That's an interesting opener. What are you driving at?
You can discuss it with Warden Valber. Come out of that cell, I'll escort you.
Well, if the warden himself is asking, how can a simple countess refuse?
Let's go. You know the warden doesn't like to be kept waiting. The sooner you get to his office, the sooner you'll learn everything. I can tell you this much. It's good news for you.
Bastian! Bastian! I just wrote this letter. Take it to Sister Sophie. She's in Marcella, you know, and she's personally acquainted with Prim. All I stole was a single, cute little baby chick. Well, it was Illyrian. They're green. How was I supposed to know it was meant for the royal broth?
I've spent 7 long years in here.
What are you talking about, old man? This prison was only built 7 years ago.
Exactly. I was sent here together with my king.
Hold on. Did you serve Vitellius?
Yes, friend, but not in the past tense. I still serve. I remain loyal to my king. Maybe not as clean as you'd like us to think, huh? I believe that Councillor Montier stands for the common people. That's precisely why you speak ill of him.
Legend tells all the roads are on Marcella. And what use is this Cedric of yours, huh? Who's even heard of this fool?
Anyone who's ever set foot outside Damien will soon arrive and explain everything.
Who's this Damien character?
Who is?
I served time under Vitellius and Claudius. Now I'm serving time under Adrian. But it looks like this will be the last time I serve. Magistrate Tweet has started a very serious business.
Definitely the last time. Nobody leaves cruises.
You're probably right, my friend.
The dwarves refused to supply us with firewood. They ran out to who knows where.
Where could they run? There's nothing but snow and miles. The Batil gates guard the bottom of the mountain.
Your belongings are in yonder chest. Take everything or you'll freeze to death. The prison's warmer than outside, slightly. Pestilence has struck Montpetrie. The quarantine is everything. You're a free individual now.
Bastard, why are you releasing the prisoners?
Larry, you blockhead. Didn't you hear? A messenger arrived today, all the way from Marcella.
I just came up through.
Then you should know that he brought an order of release.
Disturbing
from the Prince
news, Sir
himself.
Warden. Something is rotten in the state of Nostria. There's a pestilence upon the Mage Factory. Refugees from that quarter are arriving at Marcella, but aren't being allowed into the city.
I wish we could kick some of these bastard prisoners here out into the cold.
And the cells will all be empty, because only the rottenest bastards serve time in our prisons.
It's so peaceful and quiet here. Have you not seen the living dead yet? Best not take the air near the cemeteries around Marcella.
Hello.
The undead are ferocious. They rage as if something had driven them from their graves at spear point.
What are mages good for anyway? Does no one at the tower care about the situation? So much fuss and all for what? Who the hell do you think you are, making me wreak havoc in my prison?
I'm Katharine, Countess of Rigorn, in case you've forgotten.
Well, well. I heard a little more than that. As Flavius the Wisecracker eloquently wrote, there's nothing new in this world. But I haven't received a letter like this in all 7 years of my tenure at Crucis. Prince Adrian orders that you be freed and sent to Marcella. Also, you won't be leaving here on foot. I was ordered to return your gold and belongings, provide you with a horse, and, let me read it aloud, allocate some of my own garrison as your personal guard. Madness!
As that same Flavius the Wisecracker of yours wrote, there is always a kernel of sense in madness.
Whether the prince is sane or not is of no consequence. I cannot disobey my liege. Bastian should have returned your money and belongings by now. If he didn't steal them himself. Quartermaster Aston will supply you with weapons. As for gold, you have plenty already. Go to Decim to collect your guards. He has a platoon of troublemakers he's wanted rid of for a long time now. He'll be glad to hand them over. I also advise you to purchase some dogs for the road. And what else did His Highness request? Ah yes, a horse. Levitt the stable boy has a soft spot for nags too old and worn down to work. I'm sure he can pick one out for you.
It looks like the local climate has changed your temperament for the worse.
Claudius's son actually turned out to have some...
Why do you say that?
What do you need, human? A shovel, perhaps? Have you been sent to the stables, too?
Careful with your words, short one. I'm a countess. Don't you dare compare my royal self to a stable hand. Now give me a weapon and be quick about it.
Oh, sacred forefathers. Why would I ever do that?
Because I'm free again. Any more questions?
By Mactus's horns. This is the first time I've ever seen a human leave Crucis on their own 2 feet. If you got gold, treat yourself to something new. Go ahead. Aston didn't shortchange you on equipment. I warrant you'll survive the Albion Highlands. Go, human. May your body be as hard as flint, and your soul as clear as crystal.
Well, a dwarven poet.
Have the lumberjacks... Halt! What are you doing here? You're not permitted to be wandering about like a stray cat.
I'm no longer a prisoner, Decim. You're to give me a suitable number of soldiers as escort to Marcella.
So, Centurion, it's true. The warden received a missive from the prince ordering the provision of a guard troop for the prisoner. Former prisoner.
Huh? Never heard of a prisoner being released. Ah, well, I believe I have some laggards and troublemakers I can spare.
Can I go too? Oh, how I miss the sunny warmth of the capital.
No, Bastian, you're not rotten enough to let go. I can still make a decent guard out of you.
I heard your worthless conscripts are accompanied by mangy fighting dogs.
The only thing you'll be getting for free is a family of bedbugs. I spent a year training those hounds. Now, if we're talking about an exchange of gold for flesh, that's another bowl of kibble entirely. You'll get the best dogs in Nostria.
Sounds too good to be true. Are they really worth the price?
These recruits might not be the brightest candles at the feast, but my fighting dogs are as fierce as the warden himself. You won't regret a single gold piece spent on these animals.
Even though he's a dwarf.
What's wrong with dwarves?
Some folk, despite their small size, I read that in ancient times they built palaces.
Just like that, you're no one. No bound.
It's all right. I'm free from my cell. Ah, it's you. You're the one who poisoned that scoundrel Claudius. It's a real pleasure to meet you.
I wish it were me, but...
Don't be modest. You did a great thing here, and history will not forget you.
I think I've seen you somewhere, stable boy. Were you responsible for delivering horses to Rigern? Oh, by the way, what I really need right now is a horse.
All you're asking is a horse? Just a horse? Have no worry. You'll get our best. Saddle up quickly. You've probably forgotten how to ride after half a year in a cell.
You can go now. Actually, wait.
What now?
I wanted to warn you about sentry golems. Be wary of them once you're past New Tyrene.
Tell me more about the golems.
The mage Rossum took them to clear a landslide. What they lack in brain, they make up in brawn. Since they don't know you've been released, they're liable to crush you. As you pass the southern ruins, find the archer's squad commander, Ansel. The royal messenger said the squad will join you and augment your escort. I'm hoping that by the time you get there, they'll catch the marauder who's been raiding abandoned houses. Wonder why old Baron Garius didn't turn him into a chicken.
Who's this Baron Garius? Another escort?
That's up to his magicness. I have no authority over him. Perhaps he'll decide to leave these cold, inhospitable lands for the warmth of the Mage's Tower.
Come on, mount up. I picked out the very bestest horse for you. He's calm and obedient. Stands as if he's rooted to the... Races like the wind itself, and very smart. He'll find you anywhere if you just holler for him.
Not surprising that people want to leave the Highlands. The climate here is worse than in Rigurn. Oh, I read about this statue. I need to find its hands. Well, next. Found something. It doesn't work.
Come over here.
Who are you?
Are you from Crucis? Quickly, come with us. Run.
I'm not running anywhere. Explain yourself.
I'm a lumberjack. We're nothing but dwarven woodcutters, honest. We cut down trees and send the lumber onto Crucis. The humans have all left the valley. Only us and a few locals remain. Stein is our chief. So then this Lupin, a man from Riggin, arrives at our village. He was stirring up trouble, trying to recruit the remaining human hunters to join him in his wicked deeds. Then Lupin's men seized the village. They captured Stein and are trying to start a fight with the dwarves. Things could easily turn bloody. We took them in purely out of kindness, and this is how they repay us. Disgusting! Help us! Quick, run!
You don't make the rules around here, Lupin.
What goes around the forest comes around the forest. Right through these trees.
Easy there, Littlebeard. Enough serving jailers. It's time we made some changes around here.
It's time to cut out your filthy tongue!
Why don't you take a nice little stroll in the forest and never come back?
Lupin has a point. You folk under the mountain would do best to listen. Valbert and the other Nostrians are making you slave your lives away for a pittance. We say, take power into your own hands and throw them out the valley.
You traitor. Mangy cur.
We live peacefully alongside the humans. They're our trading partners.
They bring us bread from the south. We have order here. That's the way we like.
There's plenty of firewood in the forest, but bread, not so much.
And to think we sheltered you thankless dogs. We ought to drive you back into the mountains.
You'd best beware, shorties. Expect no mercy from us.
Hey,
Lupin, look! One of the Crucian prisoners, another victim of Claudius and Valbert.
You're just in time. We need another strong arm right about now.
What makes you think I'll help you?
You're human. This concerns you too. These jumped-up dwarf and lumberjacks have it too good. They're living like little lords on handouts from the fort, from that damned Valbert. We local hunters, on the other hand, are being oppressed. Only I, Lupin, can grant any hope of justice.
Don't you remember how they treat prisoners? I worked for Valbert myself until I escaped. You'd turn blue if you'd seen what I'd seen. Most of them are rotting alive in there. Not because they're bandits or murderers, mind. Just because they dared say something about the drunkard king. It's not humane.
Ah, so you're on the side of justice. What's your plan?
We've decided to seize Cruces.
We're going to starve the fort by cutting off their access to food and fuel. When we triumph, we'll free all the prisoners.
But the dwarfs are against us, so we need to force their hand. Then it will be Valbert's turn to answer for his misdeeds. If you're not going to help us, your other option is to spill our blood. Human blood.
You want a piece of this? In a birch grove one rejoices, in pines prayers sung in many voices, but among the spruces only nooses?
What are you, a poet?
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Stein. Back in my youth, I was a scribe at Marcella, but the city is too noisy for me, too fast. As you can see, I'm looking for peace and quiet now.
Quiet seems to have fled, followed closely by peace. What's happening here?
It's that troublemaker Lupin. He's a criminal on the lam from Rigern. He's fallen in with Raould, another lowlife and deserter from Cruces. He tried to seize control of the valley, and as you can see, the dwarves didn't take kindly to that idea. I tried to settle things peacefully, but nobody listened to me. I hate to say it, but the snow will be soaked with blood today.
These troublemakers of yours promised to break the prisoners out of Cruces. Surely that's not a bad thing.
Of course they do, but think. If Lupin's fellows are able to attack the supply shipments to Cruces, the city will starve. Once the dwarves are gone, the firewood goes with them. And who do you think the warden Valbert is going to deprive of food and heat first? His guards or the prisoners? I'll let you figure that one out for yourself.
You don't make the rules around here, Lupin.
Jailers. It's time we made some changes around here.
It's time.
We showed those shorties who's boss here, didn't we?
Now nobody stands between us and the royal shipments.
The jailers will be feeling that cold soon. And if they try to get wood on their own, our arrows will turn them into pincushions.
I can see you'll do fine without me from here on out. I'll be wanting my reward now.
Our guys have already opened the dwarven warehouse. Here, it's nearby. Go take a look. You're welcome to whatever's left.
We kicked those little beardlings sound.